Today we are exposing 5 brands of Scotch whiskey you'll find in American supermarkets that are, quite frankly, ripping you off in plain sight. You can walk into any Walmart or Target and find them on display, posturing as premium spirits in bottles adorned with gold lettering and dark glass, all but begging for your hard-earned money. But there's something they don't want you to know. Behind those elegant bottles and premium price tags hide some of the most cynical marketing schemes in the entire spirits industry. These whiskeys are chill-filtered until they're stripped of all character. They are colored with chemicals and have had their age statements removed, all while clinging to their prestigious prices. And the number one offender is quite possibly the most expensive lie you've ever been tempted to believe. Your money deserves so much more than their deception. Coming in at number 5, Chivas Regal 12. You'll see it commanding space on every American supermarket shelf, wrapped in its signature gold lettering and royal crests. It promises a level of sophistication you can proudly serve at your next dinner party. This regal packaging works, signaling status before you even glance at the price tag. In most Target and Costco stores, a bottle costs between $35 and $40. Chivas has positioned itself as the gentleman's choice, the blend you order to appear refined and worldly. In reality, what you're getting is a whiskey that's smooth on the surface but utterly devoid of any real depth or complexity. On the nose, you might detect faint hints of honey and apple. The palate offers a gentle sweetness in a grainy, almost metallic profile that vanishes before you can even decide if you enjoyed it. It's bottled at the bare legal minimum of 40% alcohol by volume, chill-filtered, and artificially colored for supermarket consistency, making it a Scotch whiskey designed for those who believe smoothness equates to quality. Here's what Chivas is hoping you'll never realize. That creamy texture is the direct result of flavor compounds being stripped away through industrial filtration. That consistent amber glow comes from caramel coloring, E150A, added to fake the kind of maturity this blend never actually achieved in the cask. Chivas built its reputation in the corporate culture of the mid-20th century. It was the safe, inoffensive choice at company dinners, where no one dared to ask too many questions about what was actually in their glass. This positioning still works its magic in airport lounges and hotel bars. But times have changed. Modern palates expect complexity, richness, and balance in their whiskey. Chivas 12 offers none of these things. For around $40, you are paying for heritage marketing and a recognizable label, not for any significant jump in quality over bottles that cost half as much. It's the go-to choice for people who don't actually like the taste of Scotch. Your money deserves a bottle that rewards your attention, not one that disappears before the conversation is over. At number 4, Dalmore 12 stands out on any shelf you'll find it on in American supermarkets. Its deep mahogany color seems to glow under the store's fluorescent lighting, and that gleaming silver stag fixed to the glass practically dares you to reach for your wallet. Priced anywhere from $70 to $90, depending on which store you're in, this Highland single malt positions itself among the serious whiskeys. The packaging is impressive, but the contents? Not so much. Here's what American customers of Dalmore are never told. That rich amber hue doesn't come from years spent in sherry casks. It comes from E150A caramel coloring, added to fool your eyes long before the whiskey ever touches your tongue. The color is purely cosmetic, designed to create an illusion of age and quality that the distillery never actually invested the time in. Beneath the drama, you'll find the fact that Dalmore 12 is bottled at a mere 40% ABV and has been chill-filtered, a process that strips out texture and substance to achieve smoothness at the expense of character. On the palate, you get some mild fruit notes, gentle spice, and pleasant oak, but there's nothing that truly grabs your attention or sticks in your memory. But just compare the prices here in the States with what it costs elsewhere. In the UK, Dalmore 12 goes for about 45 to 50 pounds, which works out to around $60. American retailers are tacking on an extra $15 to $20 for the exact same bottle. That's not an import tax. That's a markup that preys on the belief that Scotch whiskey equals luxury. For the price of one bottle of Dalmore 12 in an American supermarket, you could buy 2 bottles of an honest single malt with real character and authenticity, or just save the difference and buy better food for your family. You're buying the stag, the packaging, and the illusion of prestige. The whiskey itself would struggle to justify a $45 price tag, let alone the $80 or $90 they're asking. When the packaging becomes the product, the drinker becomes the victim. Number 3, Johnnie Walker. Black Label is what happens when a massive corporation perfects the art of selling you a story instead of a whiskey. Walk into any Target or Total Wine in the USA, and you'll find it right at eye level. That iconic square bottle and the Striding Man logo, occupying prime real estate on the shelf. Priced between $45 and $55, Black Label is marketed as an upgrade, the blend you choose when you're ready to move beyond basic Scotch and into the world of quality. Diageo's marketing has convinced millions of American consumers that this bottle is a significant step up. The contents of that bottle, however, tell a different story. Bottled at a standard 40% ABV, chill-filtered and artificially colored to get that signature deep amber, Black Label tastes like a committee's idea of what a Scotch whiskey should be. It's smooth enough not to offend anyone and bland enough to excite even fewer. You get a hint of smoke, some dried fruit, and a whisper of spice that vanishes the moment you swallow. This is what you get when accountants design a whiskey. Industry estimates put the actual production cost of a standard blended Scotch like this somewhere between $8 and $12 a bottle, depending on the age of the spirits used. Johnnie Walker Black Label contains whiskeys aged for at least 12 years, which bumps up the cost a bit, but even with a generous estimate, the production costs likely don't exceed $15 to $20 per bottle. The rest of that price tag, climbing towards $50, is a pure brand tax inflated by decades of advertising budgets, all spent convincing you that the Striding Man logo symbolizes quality, not just marketing genius. Whiskey enthusiasts across the US figured this out when they started comparing notes online. In blind taste tests, Black Label is practically identical to cheaper Johnnie Walker expressions. The 12-year age statement means very little when master blenders can achieve a smooth neutrality by mixing grain whiskey with a minimal amount of malt. You aren't tasting 12 years of patient maturation. You're tasting a formula optimized for mass market appeal and profit margins. For $50 at American supermarkets, you deserve a whiskey with character, not some focus group's idea of inoffensive mildness. Number 2, Glenlivet Founders Reserve. This is the bottle that proves how easily legacy brands will betray loyal customers when the accountants take over. This edition appeared in 2015 as a replacement for the beloved Glenlivet 12-year, and drinkers immediately knew something was wrong. The age statement was gone, but the price remained the same. Suddenly, the shelves of American liquor stores were stocked with a whiskey designed specifically to stretch out aging spirit stocks. Though it invokes the brand's heritage, it no longer deserves it. Priced between $45 and $55 at Total Wine, Costco, and other big box retailers, Founders Reserve demands classic Glenlivet prices for a no-age statement whiskey that only exists because patience became too expensive. Bottled at the minimum 40% alcohol, chill-filtered and colored for supermarket uniformity, Founders Reserve tastes rushed and unfinished. A sharp sweetness of pear and apple fights against a raw ethanol bite. The finish vanishes before you can even blink. There's no depth here, no complexity, just a whiskey that screams compromise at every stage of its production. This is what happens when a proven single malt gets replaced with a cheaper alternative, without even offering customers a discount. Pernod Ricard, the owner of Glenlivet, eventually brought back the 12-year version to some markets after a wave of criticism, but Founders Reserve never went away. Why would it? Customers are still buying it, guided by the Glenlivet name, not realizing they're paying a premium price for an entry-level spirit. Industry insiders estimate that Founders Reserve contains whiskey aged for just 3 to 5 years, cut with neutral grain spirit to maintain volume. The production costs are likely around $10 to $15 a bottle. The other $40 you're paying is pure brand exploitation. Number 1, Johnnie Walker Blue Label is the ultimate proof that a marketing department can completely overpower a distillery. That deep blue box, with its gold trim and plush velvet interior, just screams luxury before you even lay a hand on the bottle. In American liquor stores, it costs anywhere from $190 to $250, and in high-end retailers, you can see it pushing 300. This is the Scotch people buy to display on a shelf, to give as a wedding gift, to signal their status. Diageo sells over 1 million cases of Blue Label worldwide every year. Not because the whiskey inside justifies the price, but because the packaging makes a statement your taste buds simply can't back up. The liquid itself tells a devastatingly bland story. It's bottled at the absolute minimum legal requirement of 40% alcohol by volume. Blue Label is chill filtered and artificially colored to achieve that perfect amber glow consumers expect from an expensive Scotch. The result is a blend so smooth and neutral that in a blind taste test, it could easily pass for a luxury vodka. There's no peat to challenge you. There's no malty complexity to explore, just an inoffensive warmth designed to disappoint no one, but also to truly impress very few. Here's the math they hope American shoppers never do. For $200, you could buy 3 or even 4 bottles of single malt with real character and authenticity. You could get an Arran 10-year, a Bunnahabhain 12-year, a Glenfarclas 15-year, and still have some change left over. A single bottle of Blue Label costs more than many American families spend on groceries for a week. That price doesn't reflect age, rarity, or craftsmanship. It reflects Diageo's marketing genius in convincing people that smooth is the same thing as luxury. The biggest scam in the world of Scotch isn't a bad whiskey. It's convincing you that a neutral blend, engineered for mass appeal, is worth more than a full day's wages for the average American. So what should you actually be buying at your local liquor store? If you have to shop at the big box retailers, look for bottles that don't take the same shortcuts these 5 do. Choose editions bottled at 46% alcohol or higher, labeled as non-chill filtered and with natural color. These specs signal a distillery that's confident enough to let the spirit speak for itself, rather than hiding it behind cosmetic tricks. Brands like Arran, if you can find them, offer an honest single malt at a reasonable price. Even some American craft distilleries are now producing whiskeys that offer far better value than these imported marketing schemes. The conclusion here is simple. Every single scam on this list shares the same DNA. They use the minimum alcohol content to meet legal standards. They use chill filtration, which strips out flavor for the sake of smoothness. They use caramel coloring to fake maturity. The age statements disappear, but the high prices remain. The premium positioning is built on the packaging, not the quality of the liquid inside. These aren't just isolated incidents. These are industry-wide practices. The industry is betting you won't learn to spot them. Your money deserves genuine craftsmanship, not soullessness designed by a committee. So the next time you reach for a bottle with a gleaming gold label or a velvet-lined box at your local liquor store, ask yourself just one question. Are you buying a whiskey that actually